right, Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakha Kodash. Double honors to our venerable apostles and elders at Great Millstone who rule well, and peace and blessings to the Lord's elect, the house of David. All right, so Brother Haran coming back at you with another live lesson. Lord willing to be edifying and uplifting unto the elect. All right, and today is the Sabbath, right? So we just decided that the weather's kind of nice, so I decided to go out and Lord willing, just convert whatever meditations, all right, that's going on in the spirit, all right, into an epistle, all right, and over the past couple of hours, I was just meditating on basically how there's no new thing under the sun, right? The current events that we're seeing now, all right, especially here in Babylon the Great, though it be worse than it's ever been before, all right, to a degree, all these things have happened before. Okay, why? Because the same spirits, all right, are back here again to fulfill their lots, whether it be righteousness or wickedness. Okay, and I believe through the spirit that the Lord definitely heightened the evil spirits on this left-hand side, so he could get that glory, the ultimate glory, when his son comes back. Okay, now before that time comes, he gave us signs, right? Signs to watch out for, things to look out for, things to help us be better prepared, all right, for the time that, as is written, there's going to be a time like never before. Okay, and ultimately the best way of preparation for the times that we're coming into, all right, is to make sure that your faith in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai is at an all-time high. Okay, and remember that keeping your faith in the Lord also means that you have to believe on those prophecies as well. Okay. Now I'm going to start off with this first prophecy here, and as you can see, the title goes, I forgot what my title was, but it'll come back. All right. There's a book of Habakkuk, chapter 2. I'm going to start off at verse 2. It says, and the Lord Yahweh, actually, let's start off at 1. All right, it says, I will stand upon my watch and set upon the tower. I will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved. Okay? Verse 2, and the Lord Yahweh answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. Okay? Now, the runners are the prophets today. Okay, starting from our elders and apostles of Great Millstone on down, we are the runners today because we are the ones that are running to send the message out, all right, to those who are listening. All right, it tells you in the book of Revelation, the first chapter, that blessed is he that readeth. Right, let's get that real quick. All right. Let me see. There's a book of Revelation, chapter 1 and verse 3 says, blessed is he that readeth, and they that hear the words of this prophecy. So the readeth, or the readers, are the ones who are running. Right, those who are bringing out the written word of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai and breaking it down the right way. Okay, we are the ones who are reading it. Okay, and those who are what? Those who are hearing it are those who are accepting this truth. Okay, that's going into the elect, the rest of the 1/3 of the body that's going to be delivered when Yahweh Shai comes back. Okay, and that's going into all these different nations, right? You're going into not just the nation of Israel, all right, as in the prototypical so-called blacks, Latinos, Native Americans, but also anyone who might be living in these other foreign nations, all right, these foreign countries that believes on the word of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai by the prophets. All right, you are of the nation of Israel, most likely of the elect. Okay, if you believe on this word, then you are of the elect, man. All right, because the word is only sent out to the elect, just like how we found out about the word and we believed, right? Therefore, we have spoken. It's the same thing. Now, not everyone is going to speak because not everyone is a prophet. Okay, but for the most part, as long as you believe and have faith in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, you will be delivered. Okay, especially if you're here in Babylon the Great, every one of the elect, or every one of the members of the elect who are in Babylon the Great will be delivered. Okay, because that's where the main deliverance is going to take place. All right. So continuing, and now that begs you to question, okay, what are we being delivered from? We're gonna get that. Okay, now if real quick if y'all can still hear me. All right. But let's keep going. Revelation 1 verse 3 says, "Blessed is he that readeth, and they that hear the words of this prophecy, and keep those things which are written therein, for the time is at hand." Okay? That time of the prophecies, the end time prophecies, is at hand. Okay? So that's why we're seeing all these things coming to pass, all these end time prophecies are being fulfilled. All right, and the ultimate end time prophecy that we're looking at, Thawada, the brother Gashan 72. Khan, sounds good. Khan, Thawada. While Yahweh Bashmel Shah Brakatah to you too, brother. All right, but those end time prophecies, which the number one prophecy that we're all waiting for is the mandatory implementation of the MOTB, known as the Mark of the Beast. Okay, now a lot of Christians don't even know what that is, but that's why this is a mystery. All right, that's why the scriptures are written in parables and in dark sayings, so that not everyone can get it. Okay, because these same people who will say, "Oh, it's not what you guys are saying it is," are the same ones who are going to end up taking it, whether they know it or not. Okay, and that's going to lead to their own condemnation, which is going to come in the form of thermonuclear fire and destruction. Okay, so let's go back to Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter, real fast. All right, going back to the point, it says, "And the Lord Yahweh answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables." And that's what John did, right? John wrote those visions that was given unto him, right? In the first verse in Revelation, the 1st chapter, it says, "The revelation of Yahweh Shai HaMashiach," which is all visions, right? It's a revelation of what? The visions, right? "Which the Most High gave unto him to shew unto his servants things which must shortly come to pass. And he sent and signified it by his angel unto his servant John." Okay, so John, right, is in the stead of Habakkuk. Okay, he was writing down the visions plainly upon tables, so that we in this lifetime can read those visions and explain it. Okay, and explain it so that the elect can be sealed and be delivered. Okay, stamped and approved by Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. All right, so continuing, Habakkuk the 2nd chapter, verse 3, it says, "For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry." Okay, so that vision, all right, of all the end time prophecies, right, the destruction of America, Babylon the Great, and the end of the captivity of the nation of Israel, okay, and the righteous institution of, all right, the kingdom of heaven on this earth will be fulfilled. Okay, that vision, that promise is what we're talking about here. Okay, and that promise doesn't happen until America gets destroyed. Okay, America is that last leg, all right, of the fourth and final kingdom, all right, known as the beast system, starting from ancient Rome. Okay, the ancient Roman Empire kick-started, all right, the end of America, or the end of the fourth beast, and the last leg of that empire is America today. Okay, and like I always say, you look no further than DC. All right, you go to DC, the whole landmass, all right, is mapped after so-called Freemasonic outlines. All right, going into building it to mimic the images that they had back in Rome. Okay, so let's go to the main part of the lesson, right, which is going to be the book of Luke. Hey, go sit down. The book of Luke, chapter 17. All right, because we are living in those times, right? It's no longer can we say, "Oh wait, when the time comes." Nah, we in those times. All right, the time has come. It's 2024. You don't see what the hell's going on, right? A lot of shit is happening, man. It's literally word for word as the scriptures have said. Okay, so this is the book of Luke, chapter 17. Start off at verse 26. It says, "And as it was in the days of Noe, so shall it also be, or so shall it be also in the days of the Son of Man." Okay, it says, "They did eat, they drank, they married wives, they were given in marriage, until the day that Noe entered into the ark, and the flood came and destroyed them all." Okay, so there's a pattern there. There's an action, and then there's a reaction. Okay, there's a man, Noah, who's been sent out there. The Lord sent him to build an ark, and he told him, "I'm going to destroy this place with water." all right, with a great flood, one that's never been seen upon the face of the earth before. And those who believe are the ones who are going to be delivered. Just happened to be at that time, Noah was the only one who believed. You know, and everybody else was on some type of whole ass Babylonian shit, just like today. Okay, and what happened to them? Let's read. Verse 26, it says, verse 27 says, they did eat, they drank, they married wives, they were given in marriage until the day that Noah entered into the ark. It's windy. It's kind of windy today. It's a beautiful day, but the wind is kind of annoying here, but it's all right. So it says, until the day that Noah entered into the ark, and the flood came and destroyed them all. Right? So people are going to be, you know, people were, all right, just like the time of old, people were just what? Chilling, having a good old time, even though the warnings were going out, right? And they heard the warnings, they didn't take heed to the warnings. That's the difference, right? Just like today, people are going to hear the warnings like they are, right? They watch our videos and so on and so forth. A lot of them to the point where they make counter videos, right, to rebuttal what we're saying. I mean, it's like they make it seem like we're talking out of our ass or something. We're reading from the Bible. And you could read the same exact words that we're reading, but yet you don't have the understanding. That's a detriment to your survival, your salvation, because ultimately, if you don't have the understanding of the doctrine of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, you will be destroyed. Okay? It's not a joke. You know what I'm saying? America, I know America has made it seem like everything is a joke. You got memes, you know, you got all these videos that go out, you know, all these social media platforms. They've made light. Right? They're making light of the truth. All right, a lot of people are making light of real life, reality, you know, because of this phantom, fuck ass, meta world that people are trying to live in. I mean, you dead ass got people today that go on these social media platforms like TikTok and they do memes and they call themselves NPCs, you know, non-playable characters, you know, and it's like, yo, what is going on? It's a crazy virus, all right, of delusions. You know, straight up Alzheimer's. Everybody got Alzheimer's now. Spiritual Alzheimer's, man. You know, they can't think straight. All right, verse 28, it says, likewise also, as it was in the days of Lot, they did eat, they drank, they bought, they sold, they planted, they builded. But the same day that Lot went out of Sodom, it rained fire and brimstone from heaven and destroyed them all. Okay, so that same day that the deliverance happened, the destruction also came down. Okay? And we're going to see the same exact thing happen, just like Yahushua said this. We just read it. Okay? Just like those days happened, you know, the moment Noah went into the ark, the destruction came, right? That's the same thing when the elect get beamed up into this modern, the new ark that's coming, which is Yahushua's chariot, right? As is written in 2nd Ezra, the 13th chapter, it was as big as a mountain that he couldn't see the ends of it. You know, that's how big and gigantic Yahushua's chariot is going to be, or is. Okay, the fathership, when it comes down, right, to deliver the elect from all four corners of the earth, going into Matthew 24, 29, 30, and 31, okay, the Lord said that he's going to gather his elect. He sent angels to gather his elect from all four corners of the earth, okay, and we're going to get beamed up, all right, just like Noah got put in the ark, we're going to get put in the spiritual ark. All right, but this time it's going to be a physical a chariot, a huge chariot that's going to be hovering upon the face of America, Babylon the Great. Okay? And we're going to get beamed up. Like this. And then right after that, shortly after that, what's going to happen? Just like in the time of Lot, when he got moved from Sodom and Gomorrah, right? What happened? He got the whole place got destroyed by brimstone, fire and brimstone. Right? The wind is picking up. Shit, this is crazy. It smells like the wind, right? Let's give it a few seconds real quick, see if it dies down. Right? So continuing, it says, even thus shall it be in the day when the Son of Man is revealed. Okay? So that's the point right there. Okay, now I want to go back into the book of Genesis real fast. Genesis, the 6th chapter. Okay, and we're going to read, all right, the account of what happened with Noah, all right, during the time of the first world, where it got destroyed by a flood. Okay, we're going to look at the comparisons of what was happening back then that caused the flood to happen, and we could look at it today and see what is happening now that could cause a similar form of destruction, but this time but with fire. Okay, that we've been prophesying about, that people don't still believe. Like the prophet Isaiah said that, Lord, who had believed our report? Okay, only the elect will believe our report, because the Lord has given them a spirit to believe, to understand. All right, but the rest, they're destined for destruction. Okay, so this is the book of Genesis chapter 6, start off at verse 1. It says, and it came to pass, when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born unto them, that the sons of God saw the daughters of men, that they were fair, and they took them wives of all which they chose. Right? So there's a distinction there. Right? You have the sons of God and the daughters of men. Okay? Now that goes back to the three categories of humanity. Okay, from creation you have the sons of God, right? You have the sons of men, and then you have the sons of the wicked. Okay? So the sons of God is going into who we know today as the Israelites. All right, the 12 tribes of Israel. All right, the sons of men is going into the people of these other nations, going into the heathens. Okay, and then the sons of the wicked is speaking about the Edomites. Okay, the descendants of Esau, Edom. All right, formerly known as Cain. Okay, so continuing, it says, and the Lord Yahweh said, my spirit shall not always strive with man, for that he also is flesh, yet his days shall be 120 years. Right, so there's a cap on growth, because we used to live almost 1,000 years. Okay, the oldest man that ever lived was Methuselah, who lived 969 years. Okay, when you read in the earlier chapters, right, you have men that lived into 605 years, and they'll give birth. They'll have sons and shit. You know, you have Methuselah, I believe he was 300 years, and then he has sons and daughters. Right, 300 years, man. That's crazy. That's 3 centuries on this earth. 3 centuries, man. See, so that's, again, that even goes to show you that even before the flood, people were living. There was thousands of years that had gone by. Okay, you have people that were living for a few thousand years before the destruction came. You know, at least life was on the earth for a few thousand years. You know, because you got men living, 400, 500, 600 years, and they're having sons and daughters. And it wasn't just one man, it was multiple people. That was the life back then. It's just nobody got to live to 1,000 years. Okay, so continue back in Genesis 6 and 4, or verse 3. It says, and the Lord Yahweh said, my spirit shall not always strive with man, for that he also is flesh, yet his days shall be 120 years. There were giants in the earth in those days, and also after that, when the sons of God came in unto the daughters of men, and they bare children to them, the same became mighty men, which were of old, men of renown. Okay, so the giants in the earth is referring to the power, okay, of the sons of God. Okay, because right now, like, let's say, if you were to skip 200 years down as things are today, or let's just say, let's just say how things were, let's say, 30 years ago, right? Life 30 years ago. I wasn't alive 30 years ago, but let's just say 30 years ago, going based on history, right? And you fast forward 30 years ago, how life was to present day, and you skip it 200 years into the future, right? A lot of people who don't understand what was going on 30 years ago, when they read about what was going on 30 years ago, they'll have a completely different image of humanity compared to how things would be 200 years from now, right? Because every century comes with a different spirit, okay? So people from the 1800s or the 1900s, early 1900s, will look at things completely different from people from the 2000s and 2010s. It's completely different worlds, right? And that's just a few hundred years. So think of 2,000 plus years ago, right? Completely different world. Now think of 5,500 years ago. Think of 7,000 years ago, right? So you could tell that it's a completely different world. But now, back then, the things that were normal to the people back then, today to us is gonna be like, whoa, that's crazy. They had all this technology, they had all this, they had food, they had grapes that was like, a cluster of grapes was like, it took 2 men to carry. Like that's not something we're used to here in this society. You know what I'm saying? You get a grape, grapes is seedless now. They got seedless grapes. You know, but back then a goddamn cluster of grapes had to take 2 men to carry that shit. You know, you had men that would go to war and they'll slay thousands of men on a battlefield. You don't see that shit happening today. You got men in the military they're painting their fingernails, dyeing their hair all kinds of different colors. You know, the mighty men of Babylon have forborne to fight. All right? So it's a completely different world. But back then, going back to the point of giants, you look at a man like Michael Jordan, right? During his era, compared to now, people look at him like he was a god. You know, like he's a giant on this earth. He has a statue, right? When you think of basketball or basketball so-called immortality, you think of Michael Jordan, right? And it's something that it keeps on going generation after generation. Every player that comes in after Michael Jordan will be compared to him, or at least he'll be the gold standard. Okay, so it's the same thing back then, right? The sons of God were the gold standard. We are the gold standard. Okay, we are the giants of this earth. Okay, we are the ones that are what they call larger than life. Okay, in every avenue or every facet of the game of life, Jake dominates, and it's not even close. Okay, when you look at music, the culture of music, you go into any genre of music, it started with Jake. Okay, even what they call metal. Like I found out about that not too long ago, that Jake was actually behind metal. I'm like, what the fuck? That shit too? You know? That nasty ass, no music ass shit was created by Jake too. Can you believe that? Right? But hey, who knows? Maybe that shit used to, you know, it used to hit. But Esau comes in and he changes it and makes it all satanic and demonic and shit. Right? Look at jazz. You listen to some smooth jazz. Right? Jake is behind that. The blues. You know, that's common history though. That's not really that deep. You know? Look at all the monumental culture changing events that happen throughout human history. It's all cultivated by Jake. Jake is some way behind that. Right? You look at baseball, you think of Jackie Robinson. You think of all these great players, Barry Bonds, right? They're all Jake. Now, Esau doesn't normally put color to faces. He just puts names out there. So if you're not aware of what's actually going on during those times, you might think a lot of these people are Edomites. You know? The way even Edomites describe how these players used to play, they do, oh, Larry Bird, you know, the way he spoke of Michael Jordan, he said if God was to come down to play basketball, he would be Michael Jordan, right? Something to that effect. Okay, this is how the world views Jake and how impactful Jake is on the face of the earth when it comes to culture. Okay, when it comes to the direction in the world. Okay, look at so-called hip hop. Right? Hip hop and rap and all these different things, it's a culture. Yeah, it's a wicked culture. But guess what? You got different people. You got Edomites who group together and try to be like Jake here in America. They sag their pants, you know, they talk the so-called Jake slang. You know what I'm saying? I think it was like last month or so, the Zaquan Itazwan, he put in our chat, there was an interview between Godfrey and what's his name, Shannon Sharp, right? And Godfrey was basically saying that, you know, look at the so-called, he calls it the Black American culture. Okay, the African American culture has permeated throughout the whole entire world to the point where you got Africans, actual Africans, who try to imitate Jake over here. Okay, nobody wants to be Jake, but everybody wants to be like Jake. You see what I'm saying? And that's because we are the salt of the earth, as the scriptures say. But the Lord is turning all that negative, common era behavior and switching everything over anew. Okay? So all the influence that Jake has now, under the power and influence of Esau is going to be subsided. Where in the kingdom, we going to have the power and influence upon the face of the earth in righteousness. Okay? Because we rule the world we build. All right, this time around, it's not going to be, oh, our ancestors, built this country, or this country was built on the backs of slaves, and then Esau just reaping the benefits of it. Nah. You devils, it's going to be turned upside down. You devils the kingdom is going to be built on your backs and the rest of these other nations, and we're going to be reaping the benefits of it. Okay, that's what is meant by reparations and justice. We get to rule again. We get to be the ones that you serve. That's reparations. Not no sending us inflated billions of dollars. We don't want that shit. What's that gonna do? Huh? What's that gonna do? We don't even have our own land. We don't got our own laws. We don't got our own place to practice our beliefs. Right? Our people are still in the ghettos. Right? You still have a system that's built on trauma. Look at the jail system. I mean, look at the condition of our people. You want to talk about reparations? It doesn't work that way. Okay, no amount of prayers and getting together to sing and kumbaya is going to save you from the ass whooping you're going to get. It's only right, and that's our Heavenly Father, the God of righteousness, is the one who's coming down with that verdict. Okay, the righteous judge. All right. So continuing, it says, verse 5. It says, Genesis 6 and verse 5. It says, "And the Most High saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually." And that's the same thing that you're seeing now, right? How many people do you know have some sense of godliness on them now? Right? A lot of people, from our daily activities and our daily encounters, right? You can see it on social media. It's all promotion of death and wickedness. That's why the Lord said that this is a wicked and adulterous generation. Okay, adultery, all right, is a culture. Okay, adultery is a culture in this wicked society. Wickedness is the norm in this wicked society. Okay, because it's ruled over by the man of wickedness, the son of perdition himself. All right, Esau Edom himself. All right. And according to 2 Thessalonians, the 2nd chapter, he is being revealed. Okay, on all fronts, on all aspects, everything. Spiritually, physically, emotionally, mentally, right? He's getting his whole scalp peeled back. By this truth. And that's causing a problem for them. But guess what? This is what's prophesied to happen. And after this is all said and done, they go into slavery for 1,000 years. In chains, hardcore slavery for 1,000 years. Trying to rewrite history, trying to, wipe down or wipe away what happened in the past to our people is not going to save you. Okay, the deed is done, and you're getting punished for the deed. Okay, not how you feel about it. Oh, we should all come together. That's in the past. We should put the past behind us. No. It happened. Scriptures say that what? The Most High requires that which is from the past. Okay? So since your inception, you're getting judged based on that. How did you rule when you were on the face of the earth? You're being judged by that. Okay? So you're not going to escape it. All right? You ruled in wickedness. Right? Continuing, verse 6, it says, "And it repented the Lord Yahweh that he made man on the earth, and it grieved him at his heart. And the Lord Yahweh said, I will destroy man whom I have created from the face of the earth, both man and beast, and the creeping thing, and the fowls of the air, for it repenteth me that I have made them." Right? So the Lord declares the end from the beginning. We're reading the beginning of how the Most High felt about the world back then. And you see in the same exact things that's happening that caused the destruction to come down in the first place, happening again this time around. Okay? So again, the same result will happen, which is what? Destruction of man and beast. But this time with fire. Because the Most High is angry. Okay? And the worst thing is an angry Jake. Alright? An angry so-called black man is the worst thing you could ever encounter. Because it becomes no holds barred at that point. Alright? He loses his shit. Right? continuing, verse 8, Genesis 6 and verse 8, it says, but Noah found grace in the eyes of the Lord Yahweh. Yeah, that's weird. Try to block it a little bit. Let's see if I can. See if I can stand in front of the wind and block it off. Maybe that could help. But continuing, it says, oh shit, oh shit. Yeah, Satan not liking this. Shit. Alright, that's fine. It wouldn't be if the prince of the power of the air wasn't around, right? So, anyway. So Genesis chapter 6 and verse 8, it says, but Noah found grace in the eyes of the Lord Yahweh. And he found grace, right? He wasn't saved because he kept the laws. He was saved because of grace. All right, same thing with the elect of this time. Lord willing, we find grace in the eyes of the Lord before he comes down with that destruction. Okay? Let me move this over a little bit. Maybe I can sit at the edge of it and block off the wind. Like that. There you go. It's okay. It's okay. Continuing. It says, verse 9, these are the generations of Noah. Noah was just a man. Boy, relax. Noah was just a man and perfect in his generations, and Noah walked with the Most High. And Noah begat 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. The earth also was corrupt before the Most High, and the earth was filled with violence. And that's exactly what you're seeing now, right? Hamas, violence, Hamas, C-H-A-M-A-S, violence, okay? And that's exactly what you're seeing in America and around the world, and it's only going to intensify, okay? Because we are in the age of violence, destruction, pain, suffering, calamities, adversity, perplexity, ultimately troubles, okay? And all those things end with a colossal fire or thermonuclear destruction, okay? So continuing, it says, and the Most High looked upon the earth, and behold, it was corrupt, for all flesh had corrupted his way upon the earth. Right? That's why you have today, you got men sleeping with men. That shit is old news now. You got men becoming women and women becoming men. Right? They skip that part. They jump to children trying to be transformed. Okay? And now they trying to skip that part to make it man trying to be transformed into a robot, into a part machine, part human. That's where they're trying to push all this to. That's why all this transformation shit going on with genders and sex and all this dumb shit is leading to ultimately the ultimate transformation of man to machine. That's why they're doing all this whole bio enhancement of people and all this shit, right? Because Esau wants to be God on earth, but he can't be a God over man as is presently constituted because we have laws, right? But if he's able to genetically modify people, then you're no longer God's creation. You are his creation, Esau's creation. Hence, you go based on what he tells you. Okay? This shit is all sinister, man. It's wicked as hell. But only the man of sin would think of some shit like that. Okay? That's why he ought to be destroyed. And anyone who doesn't agree with that, you're going to be destroyed too, man. Point blank, period. All right? When the Lord comes back, man, it's not about how you feel. It's not about how you look at things. It's not about your religion or your freedom of choice or freedom of body and all this weirdo philosophies, man. It's about straight up truth, right? And if you don't bow the knee, you'll get your head chopped off. It's just that simple, right? Esau out here threatening people that if they didn't bow their heads, they're going to get their head chopped off. How much more the Heavenly Father and his son? If Esau could come out and say that, how come the Lord and his son can't say that? That's deemed as hate speech. That's deemed as oh, that's, you guys are terrorists. But yet this devil is coming out and literally telling the world that he's going to be doing that soon. But nobody's looking at them as a terrorist. What the hell is going on here? Shit. Continue, it says, hey, but ultimately, guess what though? The Lord is the one who's orchestrating all this. He's the one who's going to put that spirit on Esau to put his red foot up a lot of people's asses, man. Okay? And he's going to do it like second nature. You know? You sit around and you keep trusting the agendas of the Jays, they're going to turn around, they're going to stab you right in the back, man. That's what they always do. Okay? That's Esau for you. You turn your back, he comes and he stabs you in the back. All right? So continuing, we're gonna wrap it up quick because this wind is getting a little annoying. So continuing verse 13, Genesis 6:13, it says, and the Most High said unto Noah, the end of all flesh is come before me, for the earth is filled with violence through them, and behold, I will destroy them with the earth. Okay, and America will be that earth that will be destroyed, man. Okay, it tells you that in 2 Peter, the 3rd chapter, right, that the elements shall melt with fervent heat. Okay, so America is the Lord's main and primary concern. When he comes back with that gigantic so-called UFO, America is his main target. Okay, America is his main target, man. And he's gonna wipe this place off the face of the map, guaranteed. Okay, guaranteed, man. So continue in verse 14. It says, make thee an ark of gopher wood, rooms shalt thou make in the ark, and shall pitch it within and without with pitch. And this is what we're doing spiritually, building that ark. Okay? The Lord said in the book of Amos, the 9th chapter, right, the 11th verse, that he's raising up the tabernacle, right, of David. Right? The tabernacle meaning the house. Okay? And when you're building the house, you gotta put on the right foundation. Right, you gotta build a foundation, a strong foundation, and then as you resurrect or as you build the house, right, you make sure that the groundwork is done, the pillars are set in stone, right, set in place properly, the side, everything that you're doing is put in order, all right, to make sure that the house is solid and is stable. Okay, so it could withstand wind, or it could withstand floods, or it could withstand anything, an attack from outside, or whatever the case may be, right? So that's us putting the pitch in and the pitch without, okay? Making sure that our doctrine is as solid and concrete as possible. It's impenetrable because it's the doctrine of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, okay? So it says, and this is the fashion which thou shalt make it of. The length of the ark shall be 300 cubits, the breadth of it 50 cubits, and the height of it 30 cubits. All right, I believe a cubit, based on what they say, these so-called Bible experts and so on and so forth, what they say is that a cubit is about 18 inches, which I believe is more than that, but we'll just go with this for argument's sake. All right, so continuing, it says, verse 16, a window shalt thou make to the ark, and an cubit shalt thou furnish it above, and the door of the ark shalt thou set in the side thereof, with lower, second, and third stories shalt thou make it. And behold, I, even I, do bring a flood of waters upon the earth, to destroy all flesh, wherein is the breath of life. Fucking demons, bro. Breath of life from under heaven, and everything that is in the earth shall die. Okay? It says the promise of a covenant. Now, here's a promise of a covenant. It says, Esau, these Edomites, they gotta go, bro. So I'm sitting at a park where it's pretty much a lot of space. They make sure that they see where I'm sitting at, secluded area, and they walk towards me knowing where I'm at. Like, what are you doing? Esau is something else, man. Wow. All this space. You just got to keep walking your way. I mean, we normal people, when we pass by and we see people in a corner somewhere, we're not going to go towards that area. We're going to keep walking and find another area or some shit. These devils want to come towards where I'm at just to get a reaction of, hey, what are you doing here? Hey, how you doing? Like, fuck out of here. Keep moving, man. Shit. Anyway, continuing. Back in Genesis 6:18, it says, but with thee will I establish my covenant, and thou shalt come into the ark, thou and thy sons and thy wife and thy sons' wives with thee. Right, so think of every man of the Lord, the 144,000 men, as individual Noahs. Okay, we're getting the same exact word from the Lord that, hey, you do the right thing and you build that ark, right? Meaning doing this work, okay? I will make a covenant with you. I will save you, right? Your sons, your wives, your daughters, and so on and so forth, right? As long as they do right by you, okay? So those who are doing right by the men of the Lord, they're going to be delivered. Remember, Noah is the one who got delivered, and then through him, his sons, his wives, his wife, and there's his son, his wife got delivered, his sons and their wives got delivered through him, Noah. Okay? So if every brother is an individual Noah, you could, hey, Lord could have mercy on you where you and your wife could make it, right? If she does right by you, right? She's going to be of the elect. The Lord's going to save her and deliver her, right? The Apostle Paul said, what? They shall be saved through childbearing, right? So women going to be delivered. A lot of women going to be delivered, so they could repopulate with the men who are going to be delivered to bring back the nation of Israel ultimately in the kingdom, right? So a lot of women going to be delivered, a lot of children going to be delivered, and that's where you get the 1/3, all right, or the rest of the 1/3, okay, of the nation of Israel that get delivered here in Babylon the Great, okay? So continuing, it says, and of every living thing of all flesh, 2 of every sort shalt thou bring into the ark, to keep them alive with thee. They shall be male and female, of fowls after their kind, and of cattle after their kind, of every creeping thing of the earth after his kind. 2 of every sort shall come unto thee, to keep them alive, and take thou unto thee of all food that is eaten, and thou shalt gather it to thee, and it shall be for food for thee and for them. Thus did Noah according to all that the Most High commanded him, so did he. Right? So it's the same thing, right, as we read in the book of Luke, the 17th chapter, as in the days of Noah. Okay, so we are in the days of Noah, and we are in the stead of Noah, and we're watching and witnessing all the things that these people were doing back before the flood. They're doing it all again. But this time it's going to be a flood of fire. Okay? And that's why we're here to give the warning. Okay, we've been giving the warning. The apostle's been out there, you know, last camp, I believe, if I'm correct, the Apostle Tahar was saying that he's getting up to 40 years in this thing, man. 40 years in this thing, bro. That's, wow. You know? Hey, call Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, man. You know, that he kept these men, you know, on that same path because, bro, imagine 40 years. 40 years. You know what I'm saying? That's a beautiful thing, man. That's a badge right there, bro. Badge of honor. Super ultimate badge of honor, man. You know? And the Lord is going to greatly reward these men. You know, scripture says that we have entered into others' labors. All right, or others have entered into thy labors. Right? So we are definitely, you know, following after the footsteps of Yahushua, because it ain't, you can't push this ministry and this truth with all the challenges, whether it be a personal life or just in this truth alone, for 40 years, and it ain't the Lord who's carrying you through it. Right? So these men, hey, highly commended, you know, venerable and venerated men. All right, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is going greatly bless these men. Okay? And Lord willing, you know, we also follow in the footsteps where it's pleasing unto Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, and we also get that blessing, that penny. Okay? But that example has been set. Okay, the true example that Yahushua said 2,000 plus years ago is exactly what we're going through now. All right? Hey, beautiful. Let me get the brother Kazak Ban Yahawada, put a few precepts up. All right, the water. Let me see if I can pull some up real quick. There's a book of Hebrews, chapter 6 and verse 10. It says, "For the Most High is not unrighteous to forget your work and labor of love, which ye have shewed toward his name, in that ye have ministered to the saints, and do minister, right? And like I said, the apostles are a prime example of that. Okay, and we follow in their footsteps, as the apostle Paul said, um, follow me as I follow Yahushua, roughly paraphrasing. Okay. Uh, Continuing Hebrews 6 and 11, it says, and we desire that every one of you do shew the same diligence to the full assurance of hope unto the end, right? And that's why the apostle Tahar always pushing that, you know, and it's very important. He sounds like a broken record, but that's what you need for the Lord to approve of you, right? You got to be diligent, you know, in your own way. Hey, you got to pray that the Lord put the spirit of diligence on you, you know, whether you're studying or breaking down scriptures or teaching or whatever the case may be that the Lord has you doing. All right, ultimately be diligent. Okay, like the apostle Peter said, give all diligence to make thy calling and election sure. Okay, that if you do these things, ye shall never fall. Okay, so we don't want to fall, right? We want to be delivered by Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, so we gotta give diligence. Okay, that's the only way out. Okay, Hebrews 6 and 12 continue. It says that ye be not slothful, but followers of them who through faith and patience inherit the promises. That's right. Right, so we are definitely in blessed company. All right, and you know, when the time comes, man, it's like I said, it's only a matter of time. When the time comes, the Lord is going to be the one to show, all right, who His men are, as is written. Then shall they be known who are my chosen. All right, so flesh and blood definitely didn't reveal that the men of the Lord here are the apostles. It wasn't flesh and blood. It was definitely the spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai that gave us that understanding. Okay. Verse 13, it says, for when the Most High made promises to Abraham, because he could swear by no greater, he swore by himself. That's right. Okay. By the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, which is who? Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Okay. Yeah, man. So I just wanted to bring that out real quick. Something that I was meditating, you know, and rather than just meditate on it, you know, just wanted to convert it into epistle. All right. And Lord willing, bring some edification as well. All right. So, you know, I'm gonna close it off there. You know, the wind is it's kind of dying down a little bit, but the message has been delivered. So I'm gonna leave it off there. Lord willing, you know, you were edified and informed. In closing, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Ruach the water Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, Wa Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai Barakatam, to all you brothers and sisters who join me on the comment board. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai Barakatam, Wa Shabbat Shalom.